Welcome to episode 8 of the Mainly Wrestling Show. I got it wrong again last week, JJ, so apologies. I'm Jack Milner. I'm joined by Jack Milner. He's John Jacobs. She's Alessandra Almeida.
Wow, the government name. Jesus Christ,
yeah,
edit that out.
Code. We're here to have a look at, later on, Main Event Spectacles, one of my favorite Ring of Honor shows from back in the day. Lacey, you were Ring of Honor chick. I dug out the old photo of me. How cool. I love that retro t-shirt. Man, I wish I knew what that was. Tell us what you remember from your first flirtations with ROH, because TK is now going all in promoting Death Before Dishonor on the AW channels.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to jog my memory here and not age myself too much, but I believe I wasn't watching yet at this time. I started watching around 06, 07. Around that time was really when I got into it. And I'm pretty sure my first show was like we saw that there was a wrestling company. I had read a little bit about ROH online, and I was just so excited. Like, my cousin and I went. We were hooked forever. If you zoom in on a lot of the shows from Boston at that time, you'll find me ringside. It was really refreshing too, because coming off of, there was really no big companies at the time. Like TNA was still in its infancy around this period. So being able to just have like good quality matches, raw wrestling, was great. And we love WWE, but we love the alternatives too.
Have you seen this girl here on message boards? I know, right? I was JGM Sports, and I was American Dragon's British cousin, which was my first official business with the Royal Bank of Scotland as well. Looking back, that's 15 years ago. That is so fucking cringe. The American Dragon's British cousin. And JJ, Ring of Honor, you tell us what you know from this era, because you've always been a later developer in many aspects. Just with the wrestlers on so bad. You've never really got into this, right? But Dragon and AJ are two of your favorites, right?
Yeah, I guess as a 13-year-old kid, I enjoyed wrestling, which is the era we're looking at now. I would have been almost 14 actually. But I watched what was in front of me. We take it for granted these days, right? If you want to watch old WWE stuff, old WCW stuff, even old Ring of Honor stuff, if you look hard enough, as we have, you can find it all online. It's at your fingertips. But 19, 20 years ago, that wasn't the case. It was a lot harder to get hold of this stuff, unless you did what you did and get bootleg DVDs shipped over from wherever you got them shipped from. So I really knew nothing. I think I've said on here before, the first time I ever saw Bryan Danielson was when he came out as Daniel Bryan on NXT Series 1, Episode 1. So I'd heard of him. I used to buy what was the magazine? Power Slam magazine?
Power Slam magazine, yeah.
I used to buy
I used to
Power
always
Slam,
look at it, flip through it at Manchester Piccadilly Station. Yeah.
Like, I knew about like the Japan companies and Ring of Honor vaguely, but in terms of being able to watch anything, all that was really available to watch in the UK at this time was WWF and TNA when it was on Bravo and other places, until the Wrestling Channel came along a few years later. I think might have been a bit earlier, but I never had it anyway. So yeah, at this point, I knew nothing of these guys. I'd seen AJ Styles a few years later on TNA, but yeah, never seen anything from this era. So looking forward to this.
I mean, you mentioned it's hard to come by. I came across this originally by literally bored at university, flicking through channels. I found the Wrestling Channel. God, only like British people of a certain age will remember that. And it just took my interest. Listen, we'll click this off later. Do you think the casual fan exists anymore? Because by looking at like AEW promoting the Forbidden Door, right, and Blood and Guts, that they are promoting to a certain niche audience, right? Does the casual fan even exist like it did in, say, 1999, 98, 2000?
No, I really don't think so.
No.
I mean, like, think about it. There are people that are our age that are not even casual fans, really. Like, everyone most people that I tell, like, oh, my friends and I do a wrestling blog, blah, blah, they'll be like, really? Oh, I haven't watched since Stone Cold in The Rock, and like I hear it time and time again. So I don't really think that term necessarily exists, because realistically, there's just so much like information overload on social media and stuff like that. Like people don't even really watch TV anymore.
No.
So it's all Netflix, it's all Hulu, it's all that. So people really, nobody's just flipping through the cable channels anymore. I mean, I'm sure there's a small number of people doing it, but it's not how, like you're saying, you're just flipping through the channels and you're like, oh, wrestling channel, cool, let me see what this is about. Same way that I found TNA back in the day. I'm like, home, just flipping through the channels. I'm like, what the hell is this 6-sided ring? Oh shit, that's Jeff Hardy. And then, then I become a fan, but it's getting harder and harder.
Yeah, and I suppose, how do you like, I was saying at work today, like, oh yeah, I'm filming a wrestling podcast later tonight. Like, wrestling? You like that wrestling stuff? Like, so, well, I don't really watch much of the modern stuff, but we look back at like from mainly the late 90s or maybe the 80s. Like, I mean, I used to watch that stuff as a kid, but I mean, come on, like.
Yeah, we
all
get a
had
lot.
It's still so taboo. It's really weird. I don't know why I feel ashamed admitting it, but there is that almost like thing hanging around your neck of, yeah, I like wrestling.
I told you guys, up until very recently, probably like the last couple years, I really didn't share widely that I was into wrestling, because whenever you would, people make you feel like shit. They're like, oh, you like that stuff?
Hey, Liz,
Right?
You know it's fake, right?
It's like, all right, conversation's over. Thank you. Go choke. Bye.
It's one of those things, but again, I know, I'm aware of this. I'm a very intelligent person. Like, I've worked with you for about 2 years or whatever. Like, I don't crap on you for watching Love Island like every night. But hey ho. Anyway, speaking on the same topic, JJ, you've been all over this, and you seem to work from home on Thursdays and get away with it. Tell us about Blood and Guts, because I don't care about the spoilers anymore. I'll watch it in the bath tomorrow.
I thought it was a good show. I thought, are we just talking about the main event you're asking about?
I mean, the show overall.
Yeah, I thought it was a very enjoyable watch. There was sort of a clear juxtaposition between the two halves of the show. Like, they seemed to put a lot of like very light-hearted comedy kind of stuff. You had Orange Cassidy, who, don't get me wrong, he's shown in last night and at Forbidden Door that he's a phenomenal wrestler.
The Ospreay match good? I've still not watched it yet.
I would be surprised if it didn't get 4.75, pushing 5 stars.
Shout out to my man Ospreay.
But yeah, I mean, he's a phenomenal wrestler, but he's also a bit of a comedy wrestler, so it's just part of the gimmick, right? And then they had Danhausen, and they had
Danhausen.
They had Danhausen with FTR.
Whoa. Right, just one sec. They had Danhausen with FTR.
Yeah, Danhausen had a three-way.
Did he dress like he was a member of FTR?
No, he had a trio tag team match. He came out as Danhausen. He said, "I've got a couple of friends."
That would be funny shit if he acted like Dax Howard. I'm here for my family. Yes, very, very family orientated, very evil.
So yeah, like, it was a lot of sort of comedy stuff. There was a Jade Cargill squash match, but yeah, it was quite a juxtaposition between sort of comedy first half and then obviously the Blood and Guts match, which compared to the last Blood and Guts match was very, very strong. I thought, like, there were some really nice spots, really good storytelling. I think I mentioned to you already, you guys in the chat, like the build to the Cesaro swing and the way that they implemented that later on was really, really well done. The finish was really smart and like led on to other things. So go on.
We've not even talked about the big surprise. Cesaro's in AEW.
Yeah, he sure.
Sorry, no. You're not Jim Ross. Welcome back, Claudio.
Yeah, and William, speaking of incorrect names, William Regal called Danielson Daniel Bryan last night as well. So there's a few.
Do you think, right? I read this when Uncle Albert made his debut on Only Fools and Horses. He made a big blooper early on. So David Jason did one similar early on to make him like feel like. Do you think Regal did it to like see? Look, Jim, we all do it. I mean.
Well, JR also, he referred to Claudio as Cesaro last night too. So
yeah, he did.
It's hard. They've been they're they're with WWE for 10 years or however long, and they're used to talking, just in that WWE language. So they can slide in the beginning. It's fine.
But from that match, yeah, I think 2.0 deserve a big shout out. Like they were basically, I don't want to say jobbers, but lower card in NXT not too long ago, and now like the performance
they were there for they
that
served
main
their
event.
purpose, right? Everyone has a role to play.
Sure, but I think they were phenomenal in that match last night. Like they put on a really good show. Go on.
Do you like them, JJ?
Yeah, I think they're fantastic. I think they're really, really funny.
No, I don't dislike them. I don't.
When Lacey asks a question like, going, do you like?
I don't know what it is. I haven't bonded with them yet. Whatever. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but like I just.
That's the equivalent when your friend is seeing a guy going, and you speak to your other friends going, do you like him?
Yeah, it is. Like,
I watch BTE every week, as you guys know, which and they're fairly prominent on that, and like I think maybe that gives you a bit more of a connection with them, but I think they're really funny. Like they don't get as much chance to say too much on TV, but it's just like the little one-liners that they come out with, like they're very, very comfortable in front of the camera. And
can I say I think I would have that stronger connection with them if there weren't so many freaking people in the Appreciation Society right now, especially like with the addition. Well, I don't know if he was ever not in it, but with the they brought Sammy and now Ty into the fold, and it's just like it's just a lot of people, and it's like Jericho is still the leader. They dress like boy band. I don't know really what's going on. They had some Jack. I can't wait for you to see. They had like fishnet red shirts on yesterday. It was a lot. It was a lot. So I don't know. I love Daniel Garcia. Like I feel like if there's one person that in this new society that I'm like, oh, like this person is going to be a star, like I think it's Daniel Garcia. But
for sure,
I don't know. It's just too. It's also just like there's always a faction around Jericho, so like I would like to see something different. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
One thing I will ask, because
the number, right?
A few times, Lissy, you said there's too many people in AEW. You can't keep signing people. They've brought in Claudio, then they brought in, I don't know his name in AEW yet still. Malcolm Bivens is fucking hilarious.
Stokely
Hathaway.
I think he's money.
Yeah.
So is that it now? Because we keep pushing.
Never gonna be it. And there's just a lot of factions. There's a lot of groups.
Sorry to interrupt. Dark Order seem to be the guy who played 5, right? Alan Angels is done. I think 10 is done. I think there seems to be like this is a transition year of.
Yeah, this is right because this is that 3-year cycle, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see some of that, like some of those, stragglers kind of fall off, which will be great. But I'm just like, there's just a lot of factions. And I love the Blackpool Combat Club. Don't get me wrong. I hope they don't let everybody in because I want it to stay exclusive.
Yeah.
Like this is the number. I don't want to see anybody else.
This is the NWO vibes, right? When you were like 5 and 6, and maybe like Savage, I think Savage came in for like number 7. You were all quite good, and then when up pops Virgil and Bryan Adams and Buff Bagwell.
Not Virgil. God bless Virgil.
Not Virgil.
And Scott Norton and
yeah, I'm sure they're all great guys, but you're not too sweet, brother.
Yeah, you have to remain with some level of exclusivity so that the group seems, continues to be cool and, then when there's too many members, it's just like, what's going on?
But listen, you're happy to see Claudio in AW?
I am. And I know I always say like, oh, there's too many people below the roster, but like, he's one of the people that like, he fits. So I'm very happy to see him. And I don't think I haven't seen one negative thing said about him being in AEW. So, and I don't think we will.
I mean, the fact that Becky Lynch just tweeted a photo, right?
Yeah.
It is kind of universally praised. Everyone loves Claudio.
Well, I think that's nice. And also just kind of on the other side of things, JJ, I know you watch WWE like I do. Like this week was John Cena's 20th anniversary. And a lot of like current AEW talent former WWE talent, they put out videos and stuff like that, congratulating him and stuff. So I love when I see people like on Twitter that are like, the only beef between AEW and WWE is with the fans. It's not with the actual company.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like, it's very, very different to what it was when it was WWE versus WCW, right? They were two very similar sized companies, and there was like a real sort of animosity between the two sides. But I don't really think that's the case now. Like Jericho was on Stone Cold's podcast, and Tony Khan gave the green light for Bryan and for Big Show to be to do videos for John Cena's, like you said. Like it's just a different thing, and I think it's very much like a community feel between these wrestlers now. They see each other, they know each other from coming up through the indies, or they've worked together on either show or both shows or different shows before. It's just how the business is these days, and I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Like it's fun to like take pops like with Jericho and the guys calling it the AEW Galaxy, and they're all like little things like that. Cool, like it's funny, but also like at the end of the day, all these guys, if they see each other out at the airport, at dinner, or in a bar, they're gonna go hang out together. They're all friends at the end of the day.
There's no beef.
Well,
they're gonna show each other love, and they should.
To your point then, JJ, is it just a different era? Because you hear like when like wrestlers would come from WCW to WF back in like the day, they'd get a lot of heat and like, oh, it's one of them coming into our dressing room we've built and yada yada. Is it just a different time now where you work for a billionaire, you have worked, or you are going to work for a billionaire? Doesn't matter.
I think there's two things to it, right? I mean, is what you've said there, but it's also like they're very, very different companies, both in terms of like the products that they produce, but also the size of the companies. Like I think if Dynamite was really like pushing Raw or SmackDown in the ratings, well, Raw, I guess, then there might be like a bit more of a I don't know, tension between the two sides. But really, like I think they're going after different audiences or different interests in a lot of ways. Like the only real similarity between them is that they have wrestling on the show. Like that's about it. Like they're just incredibly different companies.
Well, I think also though, like when you think about in the 90s, there was still that big push to keep kayfabe alive. And that I'm sure there was some of that backstage in what they showed the fans, right? Where now, like, we know that wrestlers are real people. We follow them on Instagram. We see their families. We follow them on Twitter. We see what they think about, everything, right? You don't have, and also we see that it's a more supportive culture too, right? When wrestlers are let go from WWE, their friends that are still in WWE tweet to support them, and I think that just shows that like they build that overall community, and it doesn't necessarily break just because you go to a different company. Yeah,
and also I think like the vibe backstage, like you were saying, that when someone comes in from WCW to WWF back in the day, there was like a one of them kind of things.
Steal my spot,
I just don't think
brother.
like that's not really the doesn't seem to me, obviously I'm not backstage, I don't know, but that doesn't seem to me to be like the kind of the vibe that there is. It's not like it's just a different time. It's like what Undertaker was saying, like wrestlers aren't as, I don't know, tough as they were back in the day because they're not going out getting hammered every night and doing drugs and
nobody's as tough as they were back in the day. Nobody, not even just in wrestling, just humans in general. So
ask the Undertaker what he thinks about mental health stuff. Yeah, it's rubbish. You need to go to a bar, drink 6 shots of Jack Daniels and beat up someone just to
that'll cure anything.
But improve that masculinity, brother.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
That's very insightful, John.
Thanks. It's about time, isn't it?
He's a man of great intellect. But again, JJ, no sauce though. I told you what was missing from this podcast. You drunk.
Yeah, I'm taking a month off, so
I was fishing for that because you've been particularly like obviously on the water. I've seen it pop in a few times.
Yeah, it's been a hectic couple of months. So taking a month out.
Well, we will await the rating spike when John comes with his famous red wine. However, in the meantime,
we should get a rating spike from what we're going to watch today, shouldn't we? Because to celebrate 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, we've got a very special show for everyone. So, although we've talked for about 20 minutes and they might switch off by now.
I thought Lissy had a sign to hold up then. I thought Lissy was going full attitude here and going,
no, my other laptop.
thanks for getting us to 1,000.
Oh my God, that was so scary.
No
Sorry.
wrestling shirt, no signs. Alessandra
wrestling
has just
shirt.
become, do you know how when Becky Lynch suddenly became big time Bex, right? We've
I
got
have a wrestling shirt. It's a local wrestling shirt. Indies.
plug your homie.
No, it's not not a friend, just Magic City wrestling shirt.
What's their details? Come on, we'll clip it up. What are their details? We'll clip it up.
Fucking no.
Good.
I don't work there. Actually.
I feel like this is like when some of the wrestlers have to deal with Bruce Pritchard in creative. Like, God, what's going on here?
You can't have Lissy promoting a rival brand for the one that she actually works for.
Exactly, I know, right? Let me chill. Let's chill, Lucy.
Joseph, we'll cut that out, yeah?
Blur it out.
We'll cut that out, yeah. We have no
I
editors.
know.
It's fine.
I have to wear more of my wrestlers.
I mean, where's your Cha-Cha Charlie shirt? That's what I want to know.
I have one too. It's around here.
It's almost like we didn't know we were filming this despite having planned this a week ago.
Shut up, guy. I'm doing my best, okay? I'm having a long week.
Hey, we're all trying our best here.
I'm having a long week, okay? There's no ceiling in my
Shout out to
bathroom
Dr. Karen
right now.
Surridge. We're all trying our best.
Yes, we are.
We are. Right. In the meantime, yeah, thank you all. We've reached 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I mean,
Now,
I'm pretty sure
watch this show.
I'm pretty sure people subscribe for the random wrestling clips I find from, like, the 80s and 90s and
Mostly.
etc. You may flick through all clips of us talking nonsense. However,
Thank you.
And in the meantime, we're going to look back at some of my and our collective favorite stuff. So I am obviously, as you can tell by my shop from last week or from even last year, Lissy's favorite wrestler is Randy Orton. Randy Orton.
Shocking for no reason.
I can't even remember that clip, but it popped me so bad. Like, serious?
Like, lost your mind for
Mine is the American Dragon Bryan Danielson, and this match made me fall in love with him. It is from Main Event Spectacles, which is the 2nd of November. I think it's Edison, New Jersey, if my memory serves correct. He wrestles AJ Styles, and it blows my mind. So you can find it if you. We'll put the link in the comments, right? Don't shut us down. Sorry, TK. Much love, brother, but you're doing all right. The guys have the link in. We're waiting for the streaming service, so sort it all out. In the meantime,
we're going to Japan really quickly.
I'm going to embrace Okada. We're going to watch AJ Styles versus the American Dragon Bryan Danielson from the 2nd November in Ring of Honor 2003. And guys, I want you to click play in 3.
Wait, hold on. Are you going to tell them the timestamp to start?
Am I going to what? Sorry, JJ?
Tell them the timestamp to start if they find it.
Well, they may not have the same point of reference.
All right. Well, we're starting at 2:19:02 on this website. Bryan Danielson.
You want to just
on his way into the ring.
Kayfabe, brother. We're watching on an illegal stream. Kayfabe.
Whoa, can't say that.
2:19:02 and click play in 3, 2, 1.
We did it. He looks like such a little baby
And
here.
this is a very young.
My exact thought as well. How old would he
Danielson
have been
is back from a tour of 0-1 in Japan.
22, 23.
And here comes AJ.
The only problem is AJ starts in 2003. Lots of slurs you couldn't get away with in 2022.
So, yeah, not surprised.
You like to call people something that rhymed with MAGA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gay community. What is the story going into this?
There's no stories in Ring of Honor at this time, JJ. They put the best indie workers in the world and put them on for 30 minutes.
Got it.
What's the story? All right, Bruce. They told a great story. It was 2.5 stars. It did 10 stars in the Tokyo Dome. You have at the time, Danielson, I think he's 21, 22, 23.
this for the title, or this is just like a fight? Oh, this is for the number one contenders trophy.
They would actually have a legit trophy as well.
For the number one contender.
I'm pretty sure that is Ring of Honor official Paul Turner as well.
It
Okay,
is.
Who's now with
alright,
AEW,
okay.
am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, look at that knowledge. You know
Look
what?
what-
I'm not as stupid as I look.
You know what? Thank
Let's go,
God.
Dragon.
Well, thank God Jack's not as stupid as he looks. Wow. The crowd are split here.
Where
Look
is
at
the
these
lie?
guys. These
Oh,
fucking
there was
guys.
I forgot to mention a thing that Orange Cassidy did throughout the match with Ethan Page last night, where he was building up to trying to do a power slam on him throughout the match, which might seem
Right.
antiquated,
Okay, on that.
but they were in Detroit, where WrestleMania 3 was held. Well, it was just outside Detroit, but Andre versus Hogan.
Pontiac Silverdome. Yeah.
Nice little throwback. Go on.
Go ahead.
First, I hate the orange punch. It's the Roman Reigns thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
Superman punch.
Mm-hmm.
He won the match with a body slam, right?
I don't think he won the match. I think he won the match with an orange punch.
I think he won the match with a body slam.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
That's a bit weird, right?
It was built into the story. It's fine.
Okay. You're missing
know
some
what, though?
tremendous grappling here.
AJ, I feel like AJ is like one of those people that like just, slipped through TK's fingers. Like I feel like he would be like a crown jewel for someone like him. But
Even
AJ
now?
even
Yeah.
now, because AJ can still go. Obviously, he's a veteran, and I think he can. We always talk about like putting over the younger talent and stuff like that. Plus, AJ is probably like one of the handful of people that's still wrestling that wrestled in WCW, TNA, NWA,
Yeah.
WWE.
People forget he was part of what,
Japan.
Z Styles?
I think he's someone that would, given his extensive background on that like indie sort of circuit, like he probably would thrive in AEW, but he's locked in.
Oh man, I could do so many
Yeah.
lines that would just go straight over your head. So he's in Ring of Honor here in 2003, but what was he doing before?
Here?
I expected JJ to get that. That's the Daddy Boys line. Yeah, that's fine.
I have
All
no
right.
idea what is it.
JJ with the no sell. That is in the words of Michael Cole, vintage John Jacobs.
Vintage.
So you think it's a no sell? I'm just too stupid to understand.
Do you not listen to their podcast every time? What was he doing before?
Which pod?
Every podcast they get it in.
Never heard that.
I'm so lost, Jack.
Anyway, so
That was
this is Danielson's blue tights phase, right? 2004, breaching into 2005, he turns. He goes burgundy, and that was if you saw Regal on Twitter, he says he actually gave
him
his tights and boots. That's so cool. I found that so awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like what a homage! And we will watch my favorite match of all time, which is Danielson, Roderick Strong, 5th of November 2005 in Chicago. And somebody shouts out to Danielson after he's subbed to Strong, going, "Where'd he go, Regal? Regal can't lace my boots." And I hope now that they've acquired the library, that will turn into Danielson leaving the Blackpool Combat Club. Do you think he's actually seriously hurt, by the way?
Who?
Danielson.
I think they said it wasn't a concussion, but
is it not a bit strange for him to come out? That promo, by the way, Dynamite last week was so weird. I found it so bad for a pay-per-view go-home show. So
the whole build to Forbidden Door, I thought was just really, really weak. Like the whole mess up with Jay White. Who am I going to face? Since when is it his decision who he faces for the title? It's not going to be you. It's not going to be you. It's going to be you and you and you. Like, okay, bullshit. Like, yeah, I do feel bad for them because, if you're going to have a Forbidden Door show, you'd probably want to have Bryan and Punk and Omega.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they've lost all these huge stars. They still managed to put on a show which was full of incredible matches. I think in terms of in ring purely, like that's probably one of the best pay-per-views I've ever seen, because I don't think there was a bad match.
You said the best pay-per-view you've ever seen.
I said one of the best in-ring pay-per-views I've ever seen across the board, right? Like I don't think there was a bad match on the show, but like it was clunky. There were too many multi-man matches.
I don't think anyone expected there to be a bad match, though. You can't.
Yeah.
One more.
Sure.
I used to do this in the shower.
But it's just not what people would have wanted. But hey, if
just do the because you know European Open was you're basically just going up, not obviously hitting. Yeah.
If we
heard the noise once and was petrified, like I used to love that.
Insecure.
Step up Inzaguri.
Amazing. Tremendous. Over the barricade.
Look, that's what I loved about ROH. Always in the action. You might get hurt. Who cares? You're just excited to be there.
I was going to say, if we have a Forbidden Door in 12 months' time and you've got those three on the card as well as all the other awesome stuff, then could it be even better? And according to Tony, it was a commercial success, even if tickets were going for $5 on the day of the show because people weren't interested.
Right. Contrasting opinions now, because we've already discussed in the group chat. Listen,
sir,
the Tony Khan embraces with Talon in the post-show presser. Yay or nay?
I hate you.
Could you imagine Vince?
No, I think
Why does that matter? They're just different people. You don't have to go with Vince.
Because that's the comparison, right?
No,
people run the company.
It's not the comparison. It's not.
Okay. I think it's just the way. It's not about. I want to preface what I'm about to say with. It's not about two men hugging or embracing at all, as my godson would say, at all. However, it's just like it was just like you're hugging your dad.
Fangirling.
Yeah, like it was like the under hug. Like you're like a little kid hugging your dad when he was away on a business trip and you haven't seen him in a couple weeks, or something like that, or like
I don't get that from my kid, but yeah.
Or like a girlfriend who's hugging her really tall boyfriend, and like that's really what it was. It was just like, and he just looked like he was so overjoyed, like his face really showed that. So you could tell he was, especially with Claudio, he was really happy, like genuinely happy to have him there. Like you can see that. Mm-hmm. But the roasting is at an all-time high. I mean, maybe it's just like the after the after show pressers are just, you just get more and more material every time.
Let me track this.
Go ahead.
Come on, AJ. Come on, you can kick harder than that. Come on, AJ. Come on.
Hold on, you're like 229. How have I like lost a minute?
Yeah, you're way ahead of me.
What did you do, Jack?
I thought that was a sport. It makes every like ROH commentator. It was Jack. It's weird that he's still in pretty much the same show. 20 years on. 1, 2. And yeah, anyway, some like me flicking through the wrestling channel, I thought, oh, I like this stuff.
Like,
just reminded me of Brett.
I don't know what you did, Jack. You were like a minute ahead of us.
Way ahead.
I don't know if you started a minute ahead or what. But yeah, that was weird.
For those watching with us,
I've caught up now.
With the comments, 2:30, 44, 45, 46.
Let me
they will have just caught up now when you showed it.
John, there are no people watching this. It's fine.
There's at least 3.
Us.
This is sister. This is mom.
No.
My friend.
Yeah, your friends.
Yeah. I don't have friends. It's okay. Did I miss the wrist break?
What? Okay, so you were asking us how we felt about the embrace. Is there any other polling question?
I was wanting JJ's alternative to this.
I know I completely get what Lissy says. And yeah, like I said, I don't have an issue with
It's just my point from a leader of the company, a business professional. He just looked a bit cringe.
Yes, fair enough.
Can you
Cringy
imagine
with-
Andreas getting a new director of marketing and doing that with him?
Cuddles me all the time.
Is that after he's won a big pot from you? That's like he never wins big pots against you, does he?
Yeah. No, it's happened once or twice.
Alex Martin was singing your praises, by the way, last Sunday.
Was he?
Good poker player, yeah.
Oh right, yeah, fair enough.
Good
I don't
poker players, John.
I just keep losing when I go down the
Yeah,
casino.
he did say that as well. He's a good poker player. He's not bad at the minute, but he's a good player.
Happens.
I said on our last podcast, I said, "Oh, Jay, did you
Right,
play poker last night? Yep. Did you win? Nope."
I'm
Moving on to
making it.
the 7-11-16 episode of World Championship Wrestling.
I'm making it back betting on AEW, so it's all right.
Yeah, by the way, I don't know where, but if you want some illegal bookmaking, JJ's your mum because he's found someone that's going to lay odds on.
Oh my God.
Oh, I used to love that shin breaker.
I had
Show me the crowd.
Pac to win the Atlantic title when the bracket first came out at 12.
Can we pause?
Yeah.
I hate that name. I'm sorry. Keep going.
The Atlantic title.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
what it
hate the
is.
title. I hate the belt. I hate the idea. It's fucking stupid.
I just hate it. I'm sorry.
Why are you
I don't know why they did
apologizing?
it either.
Because I
I have no
interrupted
idea.
John.
Yeah, I've no idea why they've done that. I'm still very, very confused by the whole situation. It was so unnecessary. They've already got like all these New Japan titles floating around.
And
They've
Ring
got
of Honor.
and Ring of Honor, like they're permanently at the moment because they can't
They
get a
have
TV
the
deal.
AAA belts in and out of there sometimes.
Well, that's 7-star FTR.
But still, like, it's just
Just
too
a
much.
lot. It's just a lot. They've got
You
face
know
made
what as
up
well? What
titles
really
that
annoyed
Ricky
me?
Starks
I just bought. I put an order in for a 6-star FTR shirt, and they all win another fucking pair of tag belts, and the 6-star becomes obsolete.
Sorry.
Jack, are you ordering from Shop AEW?
Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh, right, okay, fine.
I feel dirty because I know they've got really bad customer service, but
Did you just say I feel dirty?
dirty. I feel dirty ordering because their customer service is really bad, and they've been like really shit on Twitter to people in the past year. But I just want to show some love to FCR because they've been very good too.
And Shop AEW doesn't deliver to the beautiful country that is Gibraltar, so we're limited, you know.
Also doesn't monetize social media. Paul Turner's lost some serious timber, by the way, since this.
He has.
Yeah,
He looks younger now than he does here.
Yeah,
totally.
agreed.
Good for him. You look great, Paul Turner. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, good job, buddy.
He is.
Proud of you,
Click
pal.
We'll click this up
Send
and
me your
tag you in it.
secrets.
Give us a retweet. That's a good lad.
He's gonna clip this up and do Apple 10.
He's gonna do a lot with this episode. I really feel it coming.
Danielson here is like watching my son trying to do tummy time because he still hasn't rolled over yet.
Seriously.
And he gets to this point and just rolls back. Little shite.
Do you know what I miss about like this, like going to ROH shows? All of the wrestlers, they would come out afterward at the end. They never said no to a picture. They always, like, doesn't matter how many people were waiting. I have like old pictures. I have to find them. They're like on an old computer.
You've got to dig this out, Leslie. Come on.
They're on like an old computer at my parents' house, and I don't even remember the freaking password, but I'll figure it out. They
You
were
are
definitely
right.
taken
The thing
with
is,
a digital camera.
Oh, look at that. The Inzaguri holds on. Tremendous.
Look,
Why
how
did
old were
they-
you at this time, Lissy? Like 14?
No,
14-year-old
no,
girl
this-
at a Ring of
this-
Honor show. is popular.
Oh.
No, when I went, I was like 17. When I first started going, I was about 17. And I actually,
Inzaguri into a dragon screw.
I met Jack, just come on, we're talking. Jack's just so excited with the wrestling, the stuff we're supposed to be watching. Like I actually met Bret Hart at like a
Wow.
signing that he was doing at one of the ROH shows, which is pretty cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. What a time.
I'm sorry, but that move was absolutely first fucking class.
So cool.
When you're watching, this is 2003, right? So this is the time when isn't Triple H trying to fuck a corpse at the same time?
You tell me.
Stop.
It's just not true.
I have to
I thought it was earlier than that.
Alexandra, what is the Katie Vick
Oh my God,
storyline?
stop calling me that. No one knows that that's my name.
You have an
until
E.
now.
What are you representing the Fed?
It doesn't
She
matter.
loves the Queen. She loves the Queen.
Thank you. My God. You're gonna have people looking me up and shit.
My cousin was there saying that like their daughter's pregnant and they're gonna name it Poppy Elizabeth whatever. And then,
Fucking
after
losers.
me. Yeah, I got that. Either that or they're just very, very pro monarchy. Like JJ. Oh, big reverse elbow from the Dragon.
He does have like a regal-esque kind of look here, doesn't he?
Mhm.
The hair, the clean
But
shaven.
he got told early on going, and then Vince has always said the same. You make your money in your face in wrestling. That's the money maker, kid.
hmm
And Dragon would have always go maybe slightly too over the top, but you gotta commit.
Yeah. He's a good-looking guy, and he still was happy to, grow a disgraceful Viking-style beard and just to get himself over.
Weird.
It was too much. It got too much.
And I like his little ponytail. I like it on him.
See, let's see over here. We call that a top knot.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, we call it it's like man bun.
It's a bit.
What I do to Seb when I can be bothered.
I'm not a fan of it. That's not speaking through jealousy, honestly.
I was gonna say, so if you could.
Oh, I could. It'd be a very awkward angle, but it'd be there. Oh, I love Dragon's European uppercuts. He came across the UK and would do like butlins and pontins and they're like the old JJ, what would you call it? Like the UK
I don't know. I don't
not
think
the
there's
not
an
the
equivalent.
club scene, it's the
holiday parks, isn't it?
holiday park. Yeah, that's the type of thing.
It's little places
I
in
tell
the
you,
UK, like in a picturesque setting with, log cabins and trees, and you can go on bike rides. They'd have traditional
Oh,
British
the American version of
entertainment in the
Centre
evening.
Parks.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Sounds very wholesome.
It's very
I don't know.
wholesome, and like he learned his craft that way. Like fair play to him.
It's wholesome in the daytime, in the evening. Who knows?
TBD. Never know what you're gonna get at night.
There's a lot of places to hide in those woods.
And you've got Dragon under a mask. Yeah, he actually wrestles under like a Patriot style mask as well. Same in Japan. See,
It's
in
gonna
terms
get
of like
crazy.
development,
Oh, he's
surely
reversed
that's
it
the-
into a crossbody.
Whoa.
surely in terms of
Both are
developmental, that's a much better way of learning your craft rather than just going to the performance center and learn the style we do around here.
Do you want to talk about that, or is that just the statement and we can move on?
I think it's like the only way you learn is by doing it in front of other people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, styles clash.
I mean, good luck to Hunter. His wife's now the CEO of the company. Let's see what you're doing.
Clapping. I assume it's for the cap.
Oh, fucking! I dropped it on his head. I mean, you learn by making mistakes, so
Yeah, that's true. I think I struggle with it because you guys know I'm always on the corporate side. But I mean, as a wrestling fan, yeah, I think coming up the hard way, like how the old timers did, is you learn. But I think with WWE's current stance, they're not signing any wrestlers, so It's very
God
clear.
damn it, pal. We produce sports entertainers.
Yeah, like they have a very clear direction.
Sad though, isn't it? Get on me. I saw this move for the first time and I lost my shit.
Well,
Cattle mutilation. It's not
if
the
things
same
go
without
the right way, then
Dave Prazak on commentary.
oh God, if things go the right way, the people that come up on the indie scene that become big names, they should go to ROH and AEW if things go the right way. So
You saw what it meant to Punk to just have him TK get the library, right? Oh,
well, I mean, those were his.
when I
Those
seen
were-
it, so this kid, I watched this around what 2006 for the first time. My younger brother is 12, and I'm 18, 19. I put him in this. Oh, that was probably like the last time I could get away with wrestling with him. Yeah,
Before he
it's
could beat
it's
you
a bit
up.
dodgy at 18. Taking advantage of just doing things to pop myself.
I'm
Cattle
32
mutilation
and I
is
wrestle
phenomenal
with a
looking
2-year-old, so
Sorry, JJ.
said I'm 32 and I wrestle with a 2-year-old, so
Do you win?
usually
Is it for the Mid-Atlantic Championship? Pele!
it's not.
Not mid-Atlantic, just Atlantic.
Is it like
Isn't it all-
whenever I
I thought it
hear it,
was-
I think
Oh,
of
all
Mid-Atlantic.
Atlantic,
all
all
wrestling.
Atlantic, all Atlantic. And it's
Such a it's
Japan
as soon as I saw it,
is not in the Atlantic.
it's in the Pacific Ocean. Exactly.
Makes me so mad.
Like Stars Clash. When I first saw it, oh,
Are
this
you
is class.
is the match still going for you?
Yeah,
What?
243 or 3.
What did you do, Lissy?
What has
Just skip to
happened?
the end.
That's
I'm
what
at the
I was
exact same point
talking
as
like
Jack.
8 years ago.
This is like doing what I used to do as like a 12-year-old, just skip to the finish.
No, I swear to God.
As I skip to the finish, it was like fast forward of the video tape, and then got too far, I have to rewind back.
I haven't touched the thing.
Oh,
Give
great
everyone a
video.
timestamp. We're at 2:43, 32, 3, 4.
32, 33, 34. JJ, pause for 3 seconds.
All right.
Although we may be giving away where we're watching this video, which, let's just get us for Christmas.
Joseph can sort that in post.
An Eagle streaming site for the win.
Very
Dragging,
good.
holding on. Oh,
Breaking news: Jeff Hardy pleads not guilty to DUI charge.
how do you plead not guilty when you test positive to a breathalyzer test? Are you? Is this serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to give it a quick scan. Filed a
I
written
don't
plea
want to
of
comment
not-
on it. It's so
Right, hold
sad.
on. I'll read it to you. Filed a written plea of not guilty on June 28th.
Do you?
Entered a rehab facility on June 21st. That's all the information.
I'll go drunk there. Oh, that's silly.
Totally missed the end of the match because of that.
I know. Where has he gone?
Gone to get a drink.
Ah, all right. Approve.
There's like 15 minutes of this show left.
Yeah.
More importantly. Oh my god, I missed the finish.
Oh, travesty.
What the hell happened?
Colt
Spoiler
Cabana.
alert. Styles clash.
A very young looking Colt Cabana. Oh,
I'm
oh
getting
my
MJF
god. If you
vibes.
skip, so let me just skip to the end here.
Don't do that.
Wait.
Steve Carino at the
let's-
minute at this time is in a huge feud with Homicide. They had a massive match at the previous show, which was Bitter Friends, Safer Enemies.
Ooh, I love that. Oh.
Michael Capetta, we've got an extra special scoop. It's Elizabeth. It's after the show.
Elizabeth,
and,
New
I
Jersey,
think
not
Cornette and the
Edison.
new champs are in here. Let's see if Oh, I think we hear this.
What's the matter, huh?
Hey.
Oh,
Gary Capetta, are you still living?
Wow.
Hey, look, we've
baby
got an extra
Briscoes.
special scoop here. Everybody, the new tag team champions, Jim Cornette. Can we have a little interview with you? Oh, please.
A little anything with me is all you need, Gary, because it don't take a lot of your gravy to go all over my plate. You know what I'm saying? Look at this right here. The World Tag Team Champions, the Briscoes, they're still in their early 20s. They are mad, bad, and dangerous to know. They are without doubt the most fascinating, the most obviously scintillating tag team that I have ever had the opportunity since the Midnight Express to come across. And with my guidance and my perseverance, I'm going to take them straight to the top because they've got the hunger. They got the hunger down deep in their gut, Gary. They want to succeed. They want to be champions. They are champions. They're going to remain champions. You guys remember how to make the check out, right? Okay. All you got to do is take care of that. And I feel you. I'm going to take care of you. And I promise you, nothing but big, bright lights. You guys go take off. Go party, go have fun because, believe me, it's all going to be taken care of.
Now, Corny.
Well,
Well, let me tell you some more about the
2003,
Briscoes. These kids, they do everything I tell them.
Yeah.
And after all, I'm a savant in this industry. I'm a genius. I'm a legend. I'm an icon. All they have to do is follow my tutelage. Gary, you got to twitch.
Well, Corny, I have a
You got to
question
lay
for you.
off the caffeine.
Now, look, you and I go way back.
Way back.
We've been through a lot.
Well, don't get personal now.
Well, no. But look, you've got a little bit of a issue here with Ring of Honor. You've got
What?
prophecy after you.
No.
Samoa Joe has made some.
Oh,
come on.
yeah. Look, number one, the prophecy. If they were so good at foretelling the future, they should have realized that they were going to be losers. And as far as Samoa Joe goes, let me tell you something. The thing
You're
about
right.
the Samoans, you give them a raw fish and a coconut, they're happy people. Samoa Joe was a means to an
Did he
end.
say that?
He was a big, mean, bad motor scooter
it.
that kicked the butts
A raw
of some
fish and a
guys that I
coconut.
didn't like. But why do I want a guy that's already a champion?
Just wondering if
when
I
can
did
make
actually hear
champions?
that.
I can create champions. I'm not billionaire Ted. I don't have to buy stars. I can make stars.
I'm trying to find
Hell
you.
with Samoa Joe. He's an idiot. He's a moron. He's a goof. And if he was here right now, I'd tell him that to his face. But the bottom line is, Samoa Joe is not smart enough to compete with James E. Cornette.
Look,
Gary,
Corny,
no, don't look.
I've
don't
been
look.
around a long time. and
Yes, you have, and you're not preserved very well.
You are in trouble.
No, I'm not.
Are you kidding? The
Look,
prophecy?
don't-
Samoa Joe? You don't know what you're dealing
Don't be
with.
blowing your whiskey-smelling breath and shaking your nicotine-stained fingers in my face, Gary. Get out of my
I'm trying to help you, Corny.
Get out of my
Please listen
minute
to me,
locker
Corny.
room that Ring of Honor gave me, and that's something else I'm going to bring
Corny,
up with them.
I'm just trying to
The
be
hell's the
buddy
matter
here.
with you?
Oh,
For God's sake.
Holy
Holy
cow, I don't
cow.
know what's wrong with it. Hey, Joe, intermission
It
time.
looks like a kitchen.
You know what? Why don't you stand over here? I'll be right back. Holy cow.
These morons. Hey, Corny. Hey, Joe! Yeah, I wanted to see you. I've been talking about you because I wanted to tell you
shit, that's
exactly
what it
how
is.
sorry. And I really.
Wow.
Fellas, I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
I love Cornette. He's so good. I mean, aside the
I
racism
mean,
aside,
apart
the
from the
racism
mild
aside,
racism,
yeah.
that
Mild?
was
You missed that there, Lissy. He said,
I heard it.
"Oh, you heard it? Okay, yeah."
right. I'm gonna have to
Jesus.
send that link myself because there's about 24 different lines for no context
Corny.
Cornet to
Yeah.
clip up there, which is phenomenal. Anyway, I missed the finish. What did you think of the match?
I was
It
too
was
busy chatting to you guys. No, it was very good. I missed the ending because I was reading about Jeff Hardy's not guilty plea. So.
Can we talk about the Briscoes were literally teenagers here. Like they've just been around forever. They're
I'm
like
pretty
18,
sure
19.
when they first appeared on ROH TV, they're both on an ROH show. They were both teenagers.
Crazy.
But Jay
Everyone-
Briscoe is 40. Jay Briscoe is 38 years old.
Everyone that we've seen,
Yeah, this was 19 years ago, Jack.
Holy shit, he was 19. I think Mark's like 18 months younger.
Yeah, they're a year apart. I'm just saying.
everyone
Wow.
that we've seen on the show here is still an active wrestler.
And you know what? And they had such young talent, and like
Yeah.
they were doing something with everybody. Look at Jack. Jack is just like, you're so astonished right now. I'd love
I
to see
can't,
this.
I'm trying to look at it in my head, but he's, do you know what you do the maths out? He's 19 here. But the thing is, so this is November 2003. in 2004 WrestleMania weekend, he's 20, and he main events with Samoa Joe in a cage match, and it's an unbelievable match. He bleeds a gusher. Joe beats him with a muscle buster off the cage. It's a fucking amazing match. It's also got CM Punk versus AJ Styles for the pure title. But yeah, I've never seen that Cornette promo before.
Hilarious.
Really good.
Should we go back? Should we go and watch more ROH, or should we
Yes.
watch more?
Approved.
Let's. Do you know what we should ask the question on Twitter or on Instagram, see what people want to watch.
Wait.
But I really enjoyed it.
Guys,
are
there's
you
like
gonna start-
murder beef
AJ, you gonna
going on
start
in our
tweeting
comments
for
right
us?
now. Just so you know.
What did you say?
It's actually very funny. There's like murder beef going on in our comments right now.
Yeah, I had to block someone on Instagram the other day. That
It is-
fucking, what is it? Pro wrestling, pro science, pro choice. Like that picture on Instagram just gets people fucking absolutely
It's that
raging at
same
each other.
post.
I know,
It's
and
that-
I'm just like, guys, you can have a difference of opinion. You don't have to start calling people N-words or start telling people that
Some
they've
guys
never,
just said it should be. You
they've
should
never
call
had
your
sex
show.
or-
You should call your page like mainly politics. Am I right?
great, very
Wait,
funny.
someone said the N-word on our page.
Who?
Nah, I mean, I don't think they did, but do you know, like they were discussing race and shit like that, and like, oh, you don't even know what a light skin or whatever.
Oh.
Like, he said, like, take your Dennis Rodman looking ass somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, guys, like, can't you
People
just have
are
a
sick.
conversation? I don't get it. Like,
It's okay if you know, are like, oh, I don't stand for this, or I do stand for this. Like, you don't have to be.
sure.
You're not gonna catch me fighting somebody in the comments. I'll do like a little 1-2 once in a while when I have time. Jack knows, but like, not anything like that's time consuming.
You will get one reply from Lisa, and then she out.
That's it.
You'll be arguing with fresh air
Oh
afterwards.
my god, I'd be punching the air. It's embarrassing.
And other news just out that AEW broke 1 million for Blood and Guts. So good on them. Nice job.
They broke a what? Sorry.
They got over 1 million for Blood and Guts. They did a 1.02. Which is good considering they've been like dropping below 800,000 recently. So
Does
We
this
didn't
not
finish
show
talking about that
JJ
match.
how big a stars, not even my stars, CM Punk and Danielson, and I think it's Punk and Dragon on a different level to the rest of the roster.
well, yeah, you've got no Punk, no Danielson, no Kenny, which we discussed. Also no MJF, and let me tell you, MJF
MGF
numbers.
is so missed right now the last few weeks. I think it's such a glaring omission.
I miss
Yeah.
him, and I'm tired of the Wardlow story without him. Sorry, not sorry.
Wardlow's
Oh,
boring now.
Wardlow's-
Just going, I'm gonna get that TNT title. Give me 40 jobbers. Yeah, skip.
He's also not going to win the TNT title if you ask me, but there we go. They made it a street fight for a reason. Did you see, Jack, that they're going to do a Royal Rumble on Friday with two rings to crown a #1 contender for Moxley's title? So because they got the 2 rings set up for Blood and Guts,
Say that again.
they're not calling it a Royal Rumble, but it's essentially a 20-man Royal Rumble, right? Across 2 rings
Right.
to crown a #1 contender for John Moxley's title.
20
already
men
happened.
in 2 rings.
Across 2 rings. Yeah, it's a 20-man Royal Rumble, but there's 2 rings.
Well, WCW used to have something called World War III, which was a 60-man battle royal in 2 rings. 20 men in 2 rings seems really small.
It's called, aren't they calling it Royal Rampage or something, JJ? It's like very
Yeah.
close.
You can't use the
Yeah.
word royal and rip that off. That's too. Call it something else like the Regal Rampage or whatever.
A lot. It's just a lot.
That
And
would make more
also,
sense. Regal manages the
20
world
men.
champion.
20 men in 2 rings, it's not even enough. Like, that's 1 ring.
That's fine. Like, no, because you had 12 men in 2 rings last night and shit was crazy.
First of all, too many people in that match yesterday.
Too many
Right,
rounds,
so-
too many rounds,
so-
too many rounds.
And also 20 people, they're not all going to be in at the same time, right? It's like a 1 minute. It's actually like the Rumble with like a staggered entrance. Then it's not a battle royal, right? They're staggering the entrance. I think. I haven't looked at the spoilers, so I don't know.
I feel like Lissy is at an all-time low with Ring of Honor. With
AEW, I am.
with AEW. She's like
I am.
she's hanging in with that boyfriend, like, but man, if he gives me one more excuse, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
If I kept you leaving that toilet seat up one more time, brother.
It's not been appointment viewing for me, but I don't know if that's a case of like just having been busy or
Yeah,
what,
like I
there's
should have
nothing
watched it
massively
again.
hooking
We've
me
all got
week
busy
to
lives, right? But you, JJ, you seem to watch it within 24 hours of it happening. I used to be like that.
Wednesday's
Or
show.
I used to stay around last August, September. I was staying up and watching it live at 2 o'clock in the morning.
You were.
Admittedly, no child. Bit different.
Yeah.
But still, you're old. You could have been catching up on sleep.
You know, you prioritize in life depending on how much it means to you.
Yeah, I'm lucky that Thursday's usually like a dead day for me at work. Like I usually have no meetings. So I
Thursdays
can
you
just get
work
up
from
early,
home.
work from home.
Like, I'm gonna
Stick it
say
on
you've
at
been
like
trying to get the kids involved,
7:45.
right, JJ?
Yeah, so Nicole takes the kids if I work from home, and then I can just sit down at 7:45. None of the guys in the UK are online until 10 o'clock my time, so I can get
Nice.
through
Oh,
2 hours
perfect.
quite easily. Yeah,
That's perfect.
Yeah, just don't tell my boss. Hi, Ross.
From Blood and Guts, where do you see them going forward as a company?
Nowhere.
Lissy, that's
Sorry.
how I answer your WWE questions.
Sorry, Jack. No, I mean,
Fuck off. Fuck
The-
off.
the only thing, I mean, at the
It's
end,
not a Jay Lethal question.
you saw that, like, you know, Eddie Kingston was a little pissed that Claudio got the win. So maybe, you know, have a little something brewing there.
That's a waste of Claudio, surely.
Listen, I'm just telling you what I saw. I'm just telling you what I saw.
All right. It's not a witness to, you know, to a crime. I'm just giving you my...
That's pretty much it. That's all I saw. And then of course we're gonna have the 2-ring 20-man battle royal for the
Royal Rampage.
Wait, it's just like actually hilarious because it's the #1 contendership for the interim championship. Also, do we like or we don't care for the interim word?
I think it's, well, I don't care about the word. I think it's a nice way when you've got someone like CM Punk. I think it's for like, because Tony obviously, like, he definitely plans his world championship stuff like a fair way in advance, right?
Yes.
And someone like this can like completely throw, of course, like 2 years worth of planning. Do you know what I mean? So to have this situation where you've still got a title on the show week to week, you've still got good main events, like the Moxley Tanahashi match was great. I'm sure whoever he faces next will be great. And then it kind of ruins it a little bit because you're pretty confident that as soon as Moxley faces Punk, he's going to lose the belt back. But yeah, I mean, I'd rather have this than, you know, no title on the show for 3 months, or I don't know, Punk gets stripped. I mean, that's the way to do it, I guess. But I understand it. They want to make it like the sports presentation, right? And this is the way they do it in UFC and stuff like that. So it makes sense. I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, I'm still kind of like, I'm just in the middle with it, right? Because like, obviously we're just so used to WWE product. Like when Becky Lynch was expecting a baby, she forfeited her title, right?
Yeah.
But and I feel like it builds you up because then she got to come back and be like, I never lost my title, you know, and it gives you that angle where I don't know. It just sucks because like you said, you kind of just are 90% certain that when he comes back, he's gonna beat Moxley. And you know, I personally really like Moxley as a champion. So, but you know.
You mentioned coming back there. At the time of filming, happy birthday to Cody Rhodes, so he's 37 today. The Machine is no.
Something Cody Rhodes. I like that song.
And I'm sure Cody is using the opportunity to thank his wife for giving him a wonderful day, because it's all about Brandy. Chief Executive Officer of Brandon. Happy birthday, Cody. The roller coaster, my best friend Cody Rhodes. They are really building the company around the fact he was there on Raw with a promo, right? Despite being injured, you never see anyone show up injured on Raw with a promo unless they are a big deal. Are they making him the next John Cena?
They need somebody. And we already kind of know that it's not going to be Roman, and it kind of can't be Roman, right? Because Roman is only as good as he is right now as a heel.
They need a baby face. Exactly.
They need
They're
desperately.
they're really bad at building baby faces. They seem to be doing well with Cody, but the problem that they have is, like, I think we said this before, like without Cody and without Reigns on the show, like the top of the card just feels so empty.
No
Whereas,
stars.
like, AEW, like they've lost basically their 3 biggest stars all at the same time, right? Maybe 4 if you include MJF, but it's still, I mean, yeah, they've had a bit of a dip, but
We
still
miss
putting
you.
out like good content, good wrestling matches.
Yeah.
And there's still, you know, some decent stories going on the undercard, like the whole Christian Cage Jungle Boy thing, which I'm really looking forward to seeing how
Oh,
that
Can we,
yeah,
can we
that's
talk about
going.
Christian, right? The one that I tell, like, the one thing I've watched from Dynamite is Christian's promo.
Mm.
After I saw the clip on Facebook, I went and saw going, I hope they were all dead, apart from Jungle Boy's mum.
Army.
That was
What a prick.
crazy.
I mean, what a cunt in the nicest
Yeah.
possible way.
Yeah.
That
So
was
good. He's so good at
crazy.
being so bad.
But yeah, they said horse of the courses. Like they tried to make him a babyface. What, a year? He replied. Did he come all out last year?
Who? What?
Christian,
Yeah,
when did he
Christian.
debut? He turned up and right and said, "I'm going to outwork everyone." A year ago, I'm just here for the
Love
cash.
him as
right?
a heel.
Give him
Just
money.
let him be a heel. He's so good. Like when he was Captain Charisma in TNA,
Where
like
my
even
peeps?
yeah, like even
Andre with the
before
cap.
when he had it was him and Tomko. Like
And
love
AJ. It was Team Cage. AJ was his lackey, and it was brilliant.
like,
2007 was my time with
I love
TNA.
that shit. I love it.
I went and saw a TNA house show in Liverpool. The only wrestling show I've ever seen in the UK, from one of the big companies, and it was amazing. And that was around that time. It was AJ versus Jay Lethal versus PD Williams in a 3-way for the X Division title.
I
And
love
Kurt
it.
Angle came out and like, don't think he could wrestle. He wasn't probably injured. Gave a great speech.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Petey Williams, I am so frigging tired. I've said this too many times of seeing a goddamn Canadian destroyer on every show. I'm tired.
We
Do
say
something
tomorrow
else.
is National Canada Day.
Didn't Guevara
Yes, it
do one
is.
like
So
off the
I have a
apron
great
onto
clip
the
of
floor?
Shawn Michaels humping the
Mhm.
Canadian flag and sticking it up his nose,
I
ready
hate you.
to
I
use
hate you.
tomorrow. I'm sure you'll be delighted by this over our social channels tomorrow.
you know what,
I think this was I think that was at Survivor Series 97 as well.
Go ahead,
you
JJ.
talking about the Canadian destroyer reminds me, like, why is everyone like so obsessed with chops in AEW? Like they just build whole matches around chop me, no, okay, chop me. Oh my god, machine gun chops. Like there's a lot of chops in AEW. It's a
JJ.
bit
A lot.
excessive.
JJ,
A lot.
with my
Go on,
wrestling historian hat on, not at wrestling historian. Fuck you, buddy. He knows who he is. Kitty Fiddler. Okay, cut that out. Don't get sued. God, that slipped out. It's an all Japan Kings Road thing from the mid-90s. They have the 4 pillars, right? The 4 pillars of all Japan.
Mhm.
Toei, Kawada, Misawa, and Kobashi, which Eddie Kingston creams over, and a lot of that roster do. Yeah. Not for me, but you know, it's the 4 pillars of all Japan.
It's a lot.
I'm guessing this
Sorry.
happened with Eddie Kingston, right?
Yeah, but it also can we just for one sec? Every week there's a goddamn cage match.
Let's just go
Every week-
full corner. God damn, one cage match every week. How can we
No, every week there's a goddamn cage match. Somebody's about to die.
Why
Like
did you go full Peter? Never go full Peter Almeida.
it's too much. Like, you know, this stuff is main event caliber, like not main event, pay-per-view caliber stuff where it's like, I feel like if they're gonna do like, I would love to see Blood and Guts like on a pay-per-view and then just have like regular programming the next 3 months. But whatever. And then also, we didn't talk about Sting. He keeps doing it.
What happened?
He opened the match at Forbidden Door by the lights went out as the Young Bucks were making their entrance, and he dove off the top of the entrance.
Yeah.
They all
you know,
stood
the
there
tunnel, the
waiting to
entrance
catch
tunnel.
him.
No, like that. So they just stepped out.
Right.
The lights go out. Sting hasn't made his entrance yet, and then lights come on. He's just on top of the entrance tunnel and just dives onto them.
Okay.
I mean, some guy.
It's now it's escalating. It's
I imagine just
Some
listening,
guy.
watching the wrestling, going, "What is happening?"
I love Sting. I do. I don't want to see him get hurt. That's really where it's coming from. It's not because I don't want to see him do stuff.
Sting's
I just don't
63. He doesn't need to do this.
But do you know what? The speed that he was moving in that match, I was like, how is this guy doing this at 63? There was
Going.
a spot where I think he was attacking both of the Young Bucks and like back and forth, and he's like, oh, but I'm like, you're a fucking granddad. Like, how are you doing this? I mean, I don't know if he is actually a granddad, but
He
I
probably
expect
is.
so, right?
the granddad age, isn't he? You know what I'm saying?
He's very Christian. They have lots of kids, don't they?
Yeah.
No contraceptions. Okay, cool. That's a lot of stuff
That's in
we
there.
got after this week. Yeah. That was episode 8 of the Mainly Wrestling Show. I don't really know where to go from here.
I think that was a long one.
JJ, wrap us up for us.
Thanks for getting us to 1,000 subscribers. It means a lot to us, even though only 4 of you are watching this right now. We love you all. Keep watching our wrestling clips that we put up, and maybe some more of you will come and watch this stuff if we keep doing awesome Ring of Honor shows. Have a great week. Peace out.